Well, hello there, and welcome to my kitchen table. A place in most homes where we can sit with family and friends and just talk for hours. Let's see where we're off to today. We are off to Tottenham, also known as Tottenham. It's a town in North London, in England, and the area rapidly expanded in the late 19th century, becoming a working class suburb of London, following the advent of the railway, a mass development of housing for the lower middle and working classes. It's been home to the Premier League football club Tottenham Hotspur since 1882. Tottenham is renowned for its multicultural, ethnically diverse population. Following an influx of Afro-Caribbean population during the Windrush area in the mid-20th century, it became one of the most ethnically diverse areas in Britain. It has more recently become home to an increased population from Africa, Asia, South America and Eastern Europe. At the 2011 census, the population of Tottenham was around 129,000. It's actually closer to about 150,000 now. So, now that you know about Tottenham, take a seat and I'll tell you a story. This story, well, it's not a story. This is an ongoing case. And along with the murder of Elianne Andam, I will, of course, provide updates as and when they become available. But I just wanted to let you know about this young kid. So sad. 17-year-old Tyler McDermott was found with a gunshot injury early on April the 13th, 2023. Police were called and discovered Tyler lying badly injured outside Pirate Studios in Norman Road in Tottenham, in London, at about 4:20am. He was taken to hospital by London Ambulance Service, but sadly, Tyler passed away from his injuries the following day. He'd been shot in the head, and he had a knife wound to his abdomen. Metropolitan Police cordoned off the area and began murder inquiries immediately. Detective Chief Inspector Neil John said, "It is vital that we hear from anyone who was in the area of the shooting and who heard or saw anything suspicious. We know that there was a large group of people there at the time. We've seen them on CCTV." He said, "Please do the right thing and come forward. We're waiting to speak to you." That still stands. If anybody out there watching this knows anything about this, please contact the police or call Crime Stoppers 0800 555 111 in the UK. Totally free, doesn't show up on your bill, and you can remain anonymous. He said, "We will be supporting our colleagues as they investigate this murder." That's colleagues as in like the forensics team, the detectives, and we will do whatever we can to find those responsible. Tackling violence needs the support of communities, and together we can meet this head on. The family of 17-year-old Tyler, 17, my God, he's only a baby. The family of 17-year-old Tyler McDermott have paid tribute to him, describing the pain that his death has caused them. They were, of course, being supported by specialist officers from Metropolitan Police, and they provided a number of written tributes. Tyler's mother described her son as her king, and said that her love for him would continue forever. She said, "On October 29th, 2005, my king was born. On April 14th, 2023, I said farewell. That's not something I wish on any mother. But today, I know that the Lord knows best. Despite the pain, me, your stepdad, brothers, sister, and extended family are feeling. Just remember that you are loved, was loved, and forever love continues. My one and only son, Tyler, you are with the Lord until that fateful day. Love you always. I can't even imagine what I'd be like if that had happened to my son. Tyler's brother also paid tribute to him, saying, "My brother was a good kid. He was always there for me. I'm going to miss him so much. Fly high, Trizzy." Another family member told police, "So many people love and care about you, and in your name we will all make you proud. You touched so many hearts, and for that reason your name will live on. The good die young, but Ty, you didn't deserve this. You deserved to accomplish everything you wanted. But we will make sure your legacy lives on. Love you, T." On Saturday the 15th of April, two 19-year-old men were arrested on suspicion of murder. Tyrese Barnett, of no fixed address, and Leo Reed of Tulse Hill were subsequently charged with Tyler's murder. Metropolitan Police put out an appeal to the public, saying Tyler's family are understandably bereft at the loss of their much-loved son and brother, and we are all asking for the public's help in getting them the justice they deserve. By May, 8 people were charged in connection with Tyler's murder. Tyrese Barnett, 19, of no fixed address, was also charged with attempted murder of another male and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. Leo Reed, also 19, of Tulse Hill, was charged with possession of an offensive weapon. Tyrese Matthew, 20, of Lambeth. Damaris Macbeth, 19, of Croydon. Reese Antwi, 19, of Streatham. Alfred Coker, 20, of Dulwich. Caelan Bagg, 18, of Streatham, and the only female amongst them, Sheerness Walters, 19, of Romford. They're the ones that were all arrested. Because they were arrested at different times and they had to go to magistrates court in order to be held, there was various hearings at magistrates court, and they were all to stand trial at the Old Bailey. Now, initially that was July 5th for plea hearings. The prosecutor, John Price, KC, the KC stands for King's Counsel. In the Crown Court you have to have a barrister, not just a lawyer. So a KC is a barrister. He said tension and hostility had been brewing between two groups of young people who were all present in the music studio that morning. Tyler and his friends were in one group, while the defendants, Tyrese Barnett, Leo Reed and the 6 others, were in the other group, he told the jurors. The events were captured on CCTV footage. Mr. Price said, "The man who shot Tyler McDermott in the head is Tyrese Barnett. The man who struck him to the lower body with a machete after he'd fallen onto the ground was Leo Reed. And that's what I call a shithouse. The kid was already down. He'd already been shot in the head, and then he's got to get him with a knife. Sorry, not a knife, a machete. They showed they both intended and desired that Tyler McDermott should die. I agree, that's exactly what they did. Mr. Price said Reed had attacked the victim as he lay stricken and defenceless on the ground. He's a shithouse. Despite the efforts of paramedics, like I said, Tyler died in hospital the following day. The two alleged attackers were identified by police and found 2 days later sitting together in Heathrow Airport with one-way tickets to Jamaica. Mr. Price understood that Barnett would claim that he pulled the trigger by accident, and he had not deliberately aimed the gun at Tyler. But the CCTV showed that the gun was actually fired twice. The second shot was actually aimed at Tyler's friend, Kamali Lindo, the prosecutor said. And then, he must be really good with sarcasm, because this is what I would have said. So, what then is his explanation for the second shot? Was it yet another accident of the same kind? Duh. The prosecution did not allege Reed caused Tyler's death with the machete, but it did help prove that he shared guilt for the murder, the court heard. The other 6 defendants, including 19-year-old Shanez Walters, were present in the music studio and in Norman Street when the shots were fired, and it would be for the prosecution to prove that they were assisting or encouraging the crime, Mr. Price said. Barnett, 20, of no fixed address, denies the murder, attempted murder, and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. So why was he fucking off to Jamaica then? Oh, for God's sake. Reed, 20, of southwest London, denies murder, but admits possession of an offensive weapon. Rhys Antwi, 19, of southwest London, denies murder, but has pleaded guilty to possession of an offensive weapon. The rest of them all deny murder. They were remanded in custody. The Old Bailey The Old Bailey trial. I tried saying like 4 words in one then, I think. The Old Bailey trial continued on March 18th, 2024. The Old Bailey is our head court. It's in London, which is our capital city. And it's a Crown Court. The same as any Crown Court in any place. But, sorry, in any place, in any city or town throughout the UK. But the head justices actually sit at the Old Bailey as well. They have a special title, which has gone right out of my head. But they're the bosses, basically. Like when someone appeals against a sentence, they're the ones that hear the appeal and say yay or nay. So yeah, the Old Bailey trial continued on March 18th, 2024. It was adjourned on March 28th for the Easter break and continued on April 2nd, which was earlier this week. At the time of recording, there have been no updates. Nothing has been released. I don't even know whether it did actually continue or whether it's been held up for some reason. There's nothing anywhere. But I will, of course, keep you updated with the trial. I really do, honestly and truly hope young Tyler gets his justice and is able to rest in peace, God love him. Many families are suffering following the murder of Tyler McDermott. The trauma will be lifelong for his family members, but also for some of the families of those charged with his murder. The ripple effect is traumatic for many. Ellie Edwards was shot to death on Christmas Eve 2022 on Merseyside. Her loving father is Tim Edwards, and at this point I'd like to quote Tim. He said, "There's no future with gun crime. If you pick up a gun, your future is over. And everyone else's around you. It's dead simple, it's pointless, and solves nothing." What I will say is, it causes a hell of a lot of pain. Tim's actually started a foundation to tackle gun violence, the Ellie Edwards Foundation, and it was established in her memory by Tim, her father, following the conviction of Connor Chapman, the guy who killed her. One man does not an army make, but at least it's a start. I wish Tim the best of luck. Thank you so much for allowing me to tell you this story, and thank you so much for listening. It really means a lot. If you liked it, no, wrong words. If you found it interesting, please hit the thumbs up symbol and click on subscribe. It's free to do, so don't hold back. And remember this: making one person smile can change the world. Maybe not the whole world, but their world. I've been Sue, TTFN.